cool air on your face, the colors on the trees. Is summer really over? Hello again and welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I am your host, Jason. And before we get started again, I want to remind you again of the Facebook group page that I started where we can talk about the places we love to visit, share pictures on things that we're doing, and grow the community that supports getting outdoors in Wisconsin no matter what you do, whether it's hiking, biking, fishing, hunting. We want to grow this community and share all the things we love about being in the outdoors in Wisconsin. So if you haven't yet, go over there and check that group out. There's a few questions you got to answer, real simple questions, where you live, what do you like to do, favorite state park, things like that. Real simple. Join the group and let's build a community that really focuses on getting outdoors in Wisconsin and really enjoying Wisconsin. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Leave a comment, leave a review. Let me know how we're doing. And if you've got ideas for a podcast, feel free to reach out. And if you've got people who you think would be a good fit on the show, definitely reach out and let's connect. Let's keep growing the podcast. It's seen a lot of good growth here, and we've got some good things coming. I got some good ideas coming up here and some interviews that I want to start scheduling here in the next few months. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you're listening every week because I'm always trying to bring you new ideas on what to do in the outdoors. All right, I'm calling it. I know it seems early. I know there'll be days that seem like it's going to stay around a little longer, but don't be fooled. It's just a ruse. I'm calling it. Summer's over. Now what? I had a great summer, and I'm sure most of you did, as most Wisconsinites do. It started a little slow. It was a little rainy. It was a little cool, but it finished strong. We had some really great warm days. We had a lot of sunny days. It was a perfect Wisconsin summer, and it was a summer that Wisconsinites know and love. It was filled with festivals, filled with bike riding, fishing. We experienced some new things, and of course, we did those traditional things, those festivals that we always go to every year, the food at the carnival that we always have to have. We got all that in. We made the most out of summer, and we did what we're supposed to do when the warm weather hits. We got out there and we experienced it. And there were still a lot of things that I wasn't able to get to this year, but you know what? That's okay. I'm going to put it on my list for next year to try to get to it. And I think the most important thing is just to make the most of summer. That's always my goal, is always to make the most out of summer and try to accomplish as many things as we can accomplish. And I feel pretty good about how my summer went. I hope you did too. I hope you were able to get out there and do some things and see some new things and experience Wisconsin's summer in all of its glory. And I know I did. I know there was, like I said, there was a few things we didn't get to, but there was a few things that we didn't expect to get to either this year that we were able to do. So I was really, really happy with the way summer went. But if you have been paying any attention at all to the outdoors in Wisconsin, for the last few weeks, those signs of summer have been coming to an end. And those signs have pretty much been everywhere. The trees are changing, and I noticed this a couple weeks ago already heading up north, but even in central Wisconsin here now, the trees are starting to change. If you're an early riser like I am, those mornings have been very fall-like with that cool, crisp air. And I don't know about you, but it is like perfect sleeping weather. It's just, you don't want to get up out of bed in the morning because you're all snug in your blankets and that cool air is coming through the window, and it's perfect sleeping weather. It's perfect fall weather. And it's definitely one of those first signs that fall is here. Another sign that we see is our gardening season is coming to an end, and it's almost time to get those apples off the tree. If you have apple trees in your area, you notice like they're getting ready. They're getting real close to being picking, and I'll be honest, I'm ready to pick a couple off ours and just see where they're at this point. But I know they got to wait a little longer. Sometimes they got to get that first frost in for them to really get that sweetness. But I'm excited. Apple season is almost here. Garden season is just about over. We're finishing up picking the rest of our garden. And I'm going to be honest, this is really my favorite time of year. And for a number of reasons, honestly. There's just so many reasons that I love this time of year. And that's what I want to talk to you about on this podcast. I want to talk to you about some of the reasons why I enjoy fall, and want to talk to you about some of the reasons why it's such a great time to get out and experience Wisconsin. The first one is probably one of the most obvious one. It's the cooler weather. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind those hot summer days as much as I used to. When I was younger, I didn't care for the hot summer days. I mean, I still don't like the humidity, but I can handle those 80, 90 degree days a lot better than what I used to. Maybe it's because I'm just getting older and I enjoy the warmth and enjoy being outside. But I think I've learned to appreciate these hotter days or these warmer summer days a lot because of how long our winters are. And when you go through like the polar vortex like we went through, it really makes you appreciate these warm days and being able to just go outside and function instead of going outside and freezing. So I've really learned to like the warm summer days. But there's something so refreshing about Wisconsin fall air. And I think most Wisconsinites could agree on this. You get through the hot summers, the hot humid summer, and all of a sudden them first few days of that cool fall air start moving in, and it just kind of rejuvenates you. It boosts your mood, it motivates you, and you want to stay outside longer because you can. It's more comfortable. It's so much nicer just to be outside and maybe have a light jacket on or a sweatshirt or a sweater. The cooler weather, I always felt, just allows me to enjoy those outdoor activities a little longer. And you know what? Anytime we can stay outside a little longer, that's always a pretty great thing. So enjoy that cool weather. Take it in. Open. If you're an air conditioner person and you've got your air conditioner running, now's the time that thing should be shut off and you should just have your windows open and let that cool air come in. And it's just so refreshing. It's absolutely perfect in my opinion. This is the greatest time of year as far as weather goes. So get out there and enjoy that weather and spend some longer hours out in it because you just can. It's just more comfortable and you can. The next thing on my list is the color. And in my opinion, this is where Wisconsin shines as one of the greatest states. You won't find a prettier state than Wisconsin in the fall. I think, obviously I'm biased, but I think we can all agree that when the colors start changing on the trees and they are in full display during the months of September and October, there is nothing more beautiful than Wisconsin. And to me, this is the absolute perfect time to get out and see as many state parks, county parks, any kind of park as you can. It's just get out there and experience the fall colors in Wisconsin in one of our great parks. And what's fun about this is if you're willing to travel, you can start up north because they change faster up north and you can follow the colors as they move down through the state. And it gives you a lot of opportunities to get out and really see a lot of those colors as they progress. I mean, don't be afraid to go to the same park maybe once a week for a while and really notice that progress. Some days you're going to really notice that they're changing pretty rapidly. And I'm hoping with all the amount of rain and all the amount of moisture we've had this year that I'm hoping we're going to get some really good colors this year, that the color is really going to be bright and bold and just beautiful because we haven't had that hot, dry summer. The trees are full and they're ready to go, and I'm excited. I'm really excited about what fall is going to bring this year, and I'm excited about getting the drone up and really getting some really great shots of some color this year. So really take the time, drive around the state this fall, see as much of those bright red, orange, and yellow colors as you can. And you know, I always think when you get a chance to see them from above, take that chance. You know, if you're going up on Tim's Hill, get up there and take a camera and just enjoy those pictures, because I always think when you see all those colors blended together, it's like an artist painted it. You know, you can't put it any better on canvas than Mother Nature can in Wisconsin. And if you've got relatives that don't live in Wisconsin that want to visit, this is the time that you want them to be here. You want them to be in Wisconsin in the fall and really put Wisconsin's full beauty on display. Because wherever they go back to, that's all they're going to tell their friends about was they couldn't believe how beautiful Wisconsin is in the fall and how much color we get up here. Get out there, experience Wisconsin in its full, colorful glory. I enjoy the harvest. I've talked about this many times that, getting outdoors is more than just going to parks and going to festivals or fairs or fishing or hunting. It's just about getting outdoors. And one of the great ways to get outdoors is if you're a gardener. If you like to get out and garden and you like to get your hands dirty, this is a great way to get outdoors and explore a little bit of the world around you. One of the things about fall that I really enjoy is harvest season. Now, I don't live on a farm. I've grown up in a farming community my whole life. I have always enjoyed watching the harvest, watching the corn harvest, the soybean harvest, the last few rounds of hay harvest that they get out of the fields. And I also enjoy finishing up the garden for the year. It's just kind of a fun, reward, in my opinion, about all the hard work we've done to grow our own produce for the year. And pulling that produce and putting it on display and having the fruits of our labor right there, and it has always been a satisfying experience. And it's, in a way, it's a little bit sad because the growing season has finally come to an end. Even though our garden is small, it's always just nice to reflect on that hard work that you put in all year, and you can see the work that you put into it right there in front of you. If you've grown enough produce, then you've got the fall canning season that kicks in, which allows you to enjoy the fruits of your labor well into the winter months. So it's just kind of always been a fun time for me to watch the harvest, to be a part of the harvest, to see the fields around me go from tall green corn to dried out corn to flat fields again. And that whole cycle has always fascinated me. I suggest, if you haven't experienced the harvest, especially a farm harvest, to take a drive. This is getting to be more late fall. Get out there and watch the fall harvest. Watch the farmers get the crops off the field. It's actually kind of neat to see how well-organized machines these guys are as far as getting crops off. And it's really a sign that the growing season is done. We're ready to head into winter. But all the hard work and all the labor that we put into our growing season has come to an end, and here's what we have. It's a big part of Wisconsin. And it's a part that I think is important that we share and experience with each other, because it is important. I mean, we're not just talking about your garden. We're talking about apples and pumpkins and all that. There's a lot to harvest in Wisconsin. So get out there and experience just a little bit of it. Now, the harvest kind of rolls into my next one a little bit as well. It's going to festivals and fairs. If going to festivals and fairs in the summer isn't your cup of tea, I can understand. There's nothing tougher than going to a fair or festival when it's 90 degrees out. You're walking around, you're hot, you're sweaty. It's hard to enjoy it. But festivals and fairs in the fall are really the perfect time to enjoy these things. I mean, it's basically the combination of the first three that I talked about. You've got the cooler weather, you've got the beautiful colors, you've got the fall harvest all right there, and you're celebrating it all in one place. And besides celebrating with food from the season, the cooler weather just makes it more enjoyable to stroll around and see everything you want to see. And there's just so much you can do during the fall season that maybe you didn't think about. I mean, you've got corn mazes, you've got pumpkin patches, you've got apple picking, all these things we love to do, and they're fun for the kids. I mean, what kid doesn't like going into a pumpkin patch and picking out the biggest pumpkin that they can carry? It just makes it a great time. Like I said, the weather's just so much more enjoyable. Don't be afraid to get out and try some of these festivals, because they are a lot of fun. If you're a pumpkin spice person, this is your time of year. If you're going to these festivals, this is your time of year. If you're an apple cider person, this is a huge time of year for you. I mean, there's just so many different flavors of this season that we usually don't get during the summertime. And I think that's important. So don't forget about all the delicious apples that need to be picked, all the pumpkins that need to be carried home, all the fall produce that you can try and enjoy during this time of year. Because visiting numerous fall festivals during this season is just a great way to see Wisconsin. And hey, you're out driving to these festivals, you can enjoy the colors on your way. So get out there, pick a few festivals this year, and just enjoy them. Just enjoy them for what they are, big or small, it doesn't matter. Get out there and really participate in the fall season of Wisconsin. All right, my last thing that I really enjoy doing, and there's many things, but this one is probably really high up on my list, is just sitting around the campfire. In my opinion, this is the absolute perfect time to do this. We have a backyard fire pit at our house, and we've had a few fires during the summertime, but we always run into a few issues. One, it's usually warm, so you really don't want to sit next to the fire when it's too warm. The sun doesn't go down until real late, so you really don't get that full effect of the fire until, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And by that time, I'm tired, the kids are tired, so we kind of miss out on those really great peak times to have a fire. Well, when fall sets in, it's definitely cooler, so the fire has a little bit more usefulness to us, and the sun goes down so much earlier now that we can enjoy it a little bit longer before we got to put the kids to bed, before, the wife and I go to bed. This is, in my opinion, the absolute perfect time to enjoy a fire. So whether you're camping or you're just sitting in your backyard, to me, there is absolutely nothing better than enjoying a fire outside and just sitting out and looking at the stars and just enjoying a perfect fall evening. Now, fall in Wisconsin is really a great time of year. It's a time of year to get out and see as much of the state as you can. I love summer and all it has to offer, but fall is truly my favorite time of year. And like summer, fall goes by pretty quickly. I mean, let's be honest, the season of fall can really last into early December. But those peak fall times for you to really get out and enjoy them, where the colors and the temperatures are perfect, only last a few short months and sometimes only a few weeks. So it's real important for you to take advantage of the colors, foods, the festivals, and just get out there and see it. Go for long walks. Go for bike rides. Visit your local parks, state parks, county parks. It doesn't matter. Time is running out on a lot of things we love to do during the warmer months in the summer. We all know this. That's why we always get out and do as much as we can during these times. So I want you to get out and enjoy as much of peak fall as you can as you head out to be one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. Thanks again for joining me. I'm your host, Jason, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. For more great information about being an outdoor explorer, visit our website at wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Be sure to check out the blog page and follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.